welcome to the Ident Review, the show where we have a good look and chat about the various television idents that we have come to know and love over the years. And for this instalment, we'll be taking a look at some Doctor Who themed idents used by the BBC. Doctor Who is not only one of the BBC's biggest successes, but also one of the most well-known and beloved television programmes in the world. From its humble beginnings in black and white in 1963, to the introduction of the first female Doctor in 2018, Doctor Who has done much to pop culture in its 55 years of existence, and Idents are no exception. I want to focus on two idents that were designed with Doctor Who in mind. So we won't talk about any existing idents that have a Doctor Who variant. So for our first one of the day, let's talk about the BBC Two Dalek ident from 1999.
Once just sandwiched between Grandstand and the Generation Game, tonight on BBC Two you get a whole night to hide behind the sofa.
Well, this one is certainly very well crafted. This ident was originally commissioned only for use on Doctor Who Night, a programme broadcast on BBC Two in November of 1999. However, it proved so popular with viewers that it was added into regular circulation. I can totally see why this was so popular. It was clearly a labour of love and done with a lot of detail and affection. The design of the twos to reflect the look of the Daleks works amazingly well, somehow managing to still look Dalek-like even though it's been drastically altered. The design of the Dalek 2 seems to be based somewhat off the Supreme Dalek from 1988's remembrance of the Daleks, and the colour scheme overall works really well, given that isolated feeling and little spine tingle that viewers should get when the Daleks are about. Funny how this was shown at a time when Doctor Who wasn't even on the air with new episodes. However, our next ident of the day was. So let's fast forward to 2009, for a BBC One Christmas ident featuring a familiar face.
This is BBC One, looking forward to a strictly cracking Christmas.
This one is just damn good fun. The notion of coming across the TARDIS buried in snow just works brilliantly somehow, and is something you'd expect in an episode of the show. We see the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, notice some reindeer, and sure enough he ends up using their help to fly his TARDIS across the sky. Not only was this good fun to watch, it made me remember all the good memories that I associated with Tennant's Doctor, and this era of the show in particular. The one I really grew up with. Also, on a more subtle note, this can be seen as quite a somber ident, as this was shown at Christmas of 2009, just as David Tennant's era as the Time Lord was drawing to a close. A lovely ident that not only encapsulates the joy of Doctor Who, but also the warm and fuzzy feelings of Christmas. Overall, with the vast impact of Doctor Who that it's had in its 55-year history, it's not a surprise that the BBC would want to incorporate the brand in any way possible. Nowadays we see the Doctor in his various incarnations interrupt idents before the programme is shown, but I adore these two in particular, as the main focus was about Doctor Who, and they respectfully and accurately showcased what this programme could be all about. And so, we've come to the end, but before we go, the final words from our broadcaster. That was all this week for this instalment of the Ident Review. I hope you all enjoyed watching it, and we hope that you tune in next week. The summer break is still in effect, and as such, for programmes next week you can tune into the Now Review and the Ident Review later this week, should time allow. But until then, have a good week, and we hope that you'll join us again soon. Good night.